All right, guys, do you remember when we taught the Monty Hall problem all those years ago? And it's a fairly well-worn classic, right? It's got that counterintuitive thing. You know the story. Let's say there are 3 doors, and what you want is the ace, right?
Okay.
You don't want these jackasses. That's what the jack is for, jackasses, right? And so the thing is, if you have them all mixed up, shuffle them all around, nobody knows where anything is, you pick one.
This one.
Right, okay, then I give you the chance. I was like, okay, well, oh, that's not the ace. Do you want to stick with that one, or do you want to switch to the other one?
I mean, my gut wants to stick, but because I watch your episodes,
That's right.
I'm switching.
You know to switch. There are different proofs for why the Monty Hall problem suggests you should always switch, but it basically boils down to the idea that
And it would have worked out.
odds are good that of the 3, you're most likely going to pick not the ace.
Yeah.
And if they reveal one of the other ones, then odds are, since you're on not an ace, that the one remaining is an ace. But there's an interesting variation that somebody sent in to me. Dr. Brandon Wiley, which, by the way, might be the most scam school doctor name I've ever heard.
Dr. Wiley.
Dr. Brandon Wiley wrote me saying, yes, everybody knows the Monty Hall problem, but what happens if there are 5 doors? And what if instead of selecting just one, you got to pick 3?
What?
3
Yes. So here's the thing. You get to pick 3 cards.
middles and edges.
There we go. There we go. Okay, great. So imagine I separate these. And now I reveal that these aren't right
Oh.
and that this one's not right.
Oh.
Do you stick with or do you switch?
I think you stick, because you picked over half of the options right off the bat.
That's a great, yeah, you're right. You picked 60%.
This is a very short episode of Scam School because you're 100% right. That is exactly the right strategy. We'll talk it out and figure out exactly why. Here, toast me.
Are you a sports fan the way I'm a sports fan? Do you love sports balls, bead balls, cue balls, and free balls? Then I got a tip for you. Fresh. You ready for some trick shots? I call this one the Lane Nixon. Yo, I call this one the 2 Eyes of Glory. I call this the give a hoot, don't pollute. Yeah, that's community management. This is the thing. If you want instant credibility, you don't need to be able to throw sweet dunks like me. You just get yourself a domain from domain.com. With .com and .net, you get instant credibility. I'm touching garbage. If you want a good domain, you need a .com or a .net from our friends over at domain.com. Swish. That's a hole in one. Woo! Ready? But the real trick shot is use promo code SCAMSCHOOL at checkout. You'll get 15% off. It's a scam dunk.
So get this. This is the anti-Monty Hall problem. A thing that I didn't even know was a thing. This was sent in to me by Dr. Brandon Wiley. Basically, it reminded me of, do you remember the non-transitive dice that we did?
Yeah.
We had dice
yeah.
where it's like red beat blue beat green and so
yeah.
on. But then when you doubled the number of dice, the pattern went the other way around.
Yeah.
It feels like the same way. Let's say you've got 1 ace and 2 jacks. If you pick one at random, odds are 2 out of 3 that you're going to pick not an ace,
Correct.
right? And so when this flips over, then all of a sudden it's like, we'll switch to the other. And 66% of the time, you're gonna be winning by virtue of switching. In this case, it's a little bit different because you have a spread of 5 and you're picking 3 of them. And I think you exactly nailed it, Matt. You said your initial choice covers 60% of the entire field.
Yeah.
So the odds are good just on that moment that you probably have the winning one in there. The fact that I reveal all the losers doesn't invalidate the fact that you were taking 60% of the entire field when you went through. So in this case, the moves will always be, they pick 3, so whichever 3 you want. So what you'll do is you always reveal the 2 losers in their 3 that they pick, and you always reveal either the loser of the 2, or if they're both losers, then whichever one. As long as you follow those steps, it feels so similar, and yet the fact that it's perversely upside
Yes.
down, it's amazing.
You're left with 1 and 1,
Yes.
Just like the original problem. But yet, the correct answer is to do the opposite. I think this is great to show somebody who knows the original problem because they think that the solution is to switch.
That
Yes.
it's an extension of it.
That's exactly what you do, is you find somebody who's like, hey, you ever see the Monty Hall problem? They're like, yeah, you always switch. You're like,
Right.
oh, you do you? And you're like, yeah, nope, that's the winning strategy. And then just lay this out for them and act like, well, it's the most normal thing in the world. I mean, you know everything all about it. You
Right.
just always switch, don't you? Man, what would that look like? Here,
Yeah, let's do it.
Go for it. Yeah, you show me.
All right, Brian.
Yes.
You can take 3 of these cards.
I want this one, and this one.
I have to show you 2 losers.
2 losers from that one, 1 loser from this
Ah,
one.
right.
That's right. Oh. Oh.
How do you feel about that?
Should I stay or should I switch? You know what's funny? All of a sudden I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that like, maybe I should switch because I know on the Monty Hall problem you should always switch. But I also know this is scam school. I'm gonna stay.
Gonna stay?
Ooh. Ah, it does work. It's great. This is the perfect gag. This is brilliant. Dude, Dr. Brandon Wiley, you're a genius. I love it. All right, guys, for this episode, we took it for granted that you're already familiar with the Monty Hall problem. If you haven't seen it, check out the original Scam School episode we did on it, or any of the dozens of online training simulators that will explain to you how counterintuitive all this is. The important part is that in the original Monty Hall problem, you remember that you always have a 66% chance of your first pick being wrong. Same game we're playing here. The difference is you have a 60% chance in this version of your first pick being right. By virtue of selecting 3 out of the 5 options, the odds are better than 50% that you already have the winner in your hand. So no matter what's revealed after that, stick to your original pick and you're gonna come out the winner more often than not. But more importantly, you're gonna stick it right in the face of everybody who only half understands this problem. I'm telling you, man, you will never experience the fights that you get into like you do with the Monty Hall problem. People go nuts over this. By the way, you and me should be BFFs over at twitter.com/Schwood. There is no C in Schwood. And of course, you know you gotta check out the Modern Rogue. We're on a quest to become the ultimate gentleman, warrior, and scoundrel. Looks like this. You get this, and then when they're not looking, you walk up and you go, oh! Did it just slit his throat? Yeah, you just totally killed him. Moves will always be, they pick 3, so whichever 3 you want.
I'll take this one.
So, there you go. They pick 3.